We need to verify the following. So we'll start the problem from the left hand side. So here we have cosine of x raised to the power of 6 minus sine of x raised to the power of 6. We're going to rewrite each of the two terms. So the first term can be expressed as cosine square x whole raised to the power of 3. And the second term can be expressed as sine squared x whole raised to the power of 3. Now immediately that gives us the difference of two cubes. So whenever we have a cubed minus b cubed, we can factorize it to get a minus b multiplied to a squared plus b squared plus ab. What we'll do in our case, we will consider a to be cosine squared x and b to be sine squared x, which means our factorization will give us cosine squared x minus sine squared x whole multiplied to cosine squared x whole squared. So that's going to give us cosine x raised to the power of 4. And similarly, we have sine squared x whole squared. So that gives us sine x raised to the power of 4. Added to the product cosine squared x times sine squared x. Now we have a standard formula for cosine squared x minus sine squared x. Cosine squared x minus sine squared x. So that's given by cosine of 2x. We can replace it with cosine of 2x. Now what we'll do, we're going to rewrite the first and the second term. So here we have cosine x raised to the power of 4, but we're going to rewrite it as cosine squared x whole squared added to sine squared x whole squared plus cosine squared x times sine squared x. The reason why we have written in this fashion, because now what we get is the sum of two squares. A squared plus b squared can be also expressed as a plus b whole squared minus 2 times ab. Now here in our case, a is equivalent to cosine squared x and b is equivalent to sine squared x, which means that we can also rewrite it as cosine squared x added to sine squared x whole squared. Now we need negative 2ab. That means we have negative 2 times cosine squared x times sine squared x. And we also have this particular term, which is plus cosine squared x times sine squared x. So now we have cosine of 2x. So cosine squared x plus sine squared x, that's a standard identity with a value equals to 1. And when we combine these two terms, we get negative cosine squared x multiplied to sine squared x. Okay, now we're going to work with this particular term here. So here we have cosine of 2x whole multiplied to 1 minus cosine of x times sine of x whole squared. Now what we can do here, we're going to multiply by 2 and we are going to divide by 2 as well. The reason why we're doing this, because now we have a standard form 2 times cosine of x times sine of x. So that's given by sine of 2x. We had the factor 2 missing, so that's why we multiplied and divided by 2. So let's further simplify. Now we have cosine of the angle 2x whole multiplied to 1 minus half of sine of 2x, and when we square this value, this will be equals to cosine of the angle 2x, where now we have 1 minus 1 over 4 times sine squared 2x. And this is the expression on the right hand side. So here we have successfully showed that cosine of x whole raised to the power of 6 minus sine of x raised to the power of 6 is given by cosine of 2x multiplied to 1 minus 1 quarter of sine squared 2x.